just see how many, how long I made the base on the Guude. Just get a feel for how we made this one, because it'd be very similar. There's maybe about 5 or 6 there. We've sort of built a little platform. Put a large container. We might want to put 2 cargo containers on the bigger welding ship. And we'll still use this sort of arrangement, but can welders connect to each other? They don't appear to have any doors on the side, which would mean that every welder's going to need its own conveyor. So we'd have to swap these 2 around. Instead of having a tube to a conveyor, we'll have a conveyor to a tube if we need it, because I don't really need the needle nose, so I might do away with the tube and just have a big row of conveyors. But it does help keeping things away from the thrusters. Okay. Well, we'll start off by positioning some cargo containers. Now, are they all big doors? No. So we want the little door on the side, and what we're missing is the interior plate. Did I miss it? Interior plate. The search sometimes works really well. It works really well when you're looking for, when you're searching on the name of a ship or the name of a component. But yeah, it doesn't seem to work quite so well when you're searching on materials or ores. Now, just thinking, that little door, if I was to turn it end on end like that, would I end up with a little door on the top and the bottom, I think? And I don't think I'd be using the top and the bottom. And if we rotate it round, ah no, there is still a small door. I just need to be careful about that one. So we should there have a large door to a large door. I'm not sure we can tell. But on the back we want a connector. It the other way up. That's it. Should be there. Just see how that's looking. Yeah, that looks like it's positioned correctly. Okay, so that'd be the 2 cargo containers that connect to the connector. So that takes us to this point on the Guude. Then, yeah, I think we will have one tube coming forwards. And then we'll have the conveyor. Oops. Now, conveyors have 3 small on some of them. Let's see, but yeah, if I spin it through, I can see they're all we've got all large doors facing backwards and forwards and sideways. Oops, didn't quite get that one right. Go. So this ship will weld 5 times faster. Ah, misclicked that one as well. There we go. And then finally, before we weld a load of stuff, we need the welders. Where's that then?
Energy low.
Oh, okay. Got this now. It's easier and faster to jump into a flight seat or a ship seat, but yeah, it's nice and convenient to have the medical room close by. And this now is our respawn point. Okay. I love building small ships. There's just something so instant about them. Yeah. So row of 5 like that. Let's get in the Guude and get those welded. I've got to decide who to name this ship in honour of. It looks like that welder there, the sort of second or fourth one, wasn't finished. There we go. Okay, let's just see if we can get underneath and weld up those armour blocks. This is where the Guude will sort of have a job for life. It can get into those places which the blue ship will never be able to fit. That'll do for now. Just enough to make sure it holds together as I'm jumping around it and... oh, what's needs welding there? Right, let's go place some more blocks. Okay. So what we need to think about next is the cockpit. And where to put, we need the cockpit, the reactor, all the other things can sort of fit around. Let's do the reactor first. So, just thinking about the shape of this ship. We can't... with the Guude, I needed to keep the cockpit very far back, and everything was as far back along the ship as possible to keep that nose very thin, pointy. We don't have to do that with this ship. We can put the cockpit up front. We can have a large reactor. It's probably a good idea because it'll be drawing more power. The Guude, with its one welder, has it is overpowered at times, not overpowered. Runs out of power. Overloaded, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, it's overloaded at times. So no reason why we need to do that with this ship. Let's get it a large reactor. Which, because on a small ship, a large reactor is not huge. Yes, actually a small door will do just fine. But if I place it on the bottom, I just need to sort of look at it from underneath. Have we got a door on the bottom? Yes, we have. That's fine then. And it must be a small door. Okay, so when we'll be able to, once we've welded it up, it'll be able to feed itself from the cargo container, but we'll be able to initialize it through this back door here. Just wondering whether I should turn it round so that we've got side access. Yeah, I think we will. Just so that if anything happens, we can be sure of being able to manually feed it uranium. Okay, so that should be fine. Then the cockpit we can put up front here. I'm almost tempted to put a flight seat and build a little room around it rather than a cockpit. Nah, that's just not for this ship, but maybe for another one. So, we want cockpit. Don't need the fighter cockpit. Looks good. I don't know whether it's easier to drive the ship out of a fighter cockpit, whether you get a better view. Well, maybe we'll put one on and just check it out. So we could put it up there, or we could put it down here, right at the front end of the action. I think we might be better keeping it back a little. Yeah, maybe there. Right, other things we need is I want to stick a beacon up front. Oh, there it is. Okay, and actually, how wide is that block? Is that central? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we'll put some gyroscopes alongside that. There they are. Okay, and if we just twist it round. If I position myself, it might... There we go. Alright, so that's 6 gyroscopes to get us going with. We'll probably put a few more sort of up the back here, around a few places. We'll fill in a few nooks and crannies with more gyroscopes. Okay, I think we'll get that lot welded up. Then we'll put a little bit of extra armour on, and then we'll start placing the thrusters. Oh, while I'm thinking about armour, I might do the armour under here. So, like with the Guude, one thing we want to make sure of is if this ship gets hit or it hits something, then we don't want the welders flying off. We want them to be sort of tied to the rest of the ship, because the welders are going to have plenty of valuable equipment in them. Right, we'll do those so far. Oops, and then we can build around that. So where do I leave the Guude? There it is. I'll just do the blocks at the bottom first. We should have everything we need in the Guude apart from the reactor components, but we've got plenty of reactor components already made. Okay. There we go. I found it's always better to twist your ship rather than to twist your head. I have a tendency to sort of turn my head so I'm looking upside down at my screen. So missing something from the cockpit, probably something like bulletproof glass or a display, something that we don't use very often. But again, we've probably got whatever we need. So once we've built our blue ship, we can then use the blue ship to help us make an intermediate sized driller. Something that we can use for when we just run out of one material. We can just go out and collect a large amount of a single type of material without having to take the merry to collect the tons of stuff. So spawn ship was just a little too, well, the ship itself was too big and the 3 drills is just too few to be convenient. It's just welding up the armour underneath there.